Hey, this is Rediscover Real Estate, and I'm going to go over with you today on how to use Realist. So, Realist is one of the features on the Matrix. If you go up here, you can see that Realist is right over here, and you would click it, and it would open into another window. You could basically use this to find any information you need, especially if the house has never been listed on our MLS. You can find out who the owners are, the tax ID, the size of the lot, what kind of general warranty deed, or if there's a special warranty deed or quick claim deed on the house, where the deed is in the deed book and page. What does the lot look like on the plot map. Basically everything you need to know that isn't on the Matrix if you were to ever look for it. So it's great if you are looking at pre-foreclosures and you're just doing, geo leads, trying to, go to an area to get leads from. You can find out who the owner is. It's also great if you know that somebody is interested in a certain house and it's not on the market. You can contact the owners and find out who the owner is and try to find their information from there. Or if you need to have an easement on someone's lot and you need to find out who the owner is so that you can request them to do an easement. So it's just great for everything that you need to know about a property. So I'm going to just use an example. You could either put the address, the owner's name, the listing number, or the parcel ID. But again, the easiest way I usually do is the address. If not, if I already know the parcel ID, those are the two features I usually use most often. Alright, so I'm going to use this address as an example. And as you can see, you could find out all the property detail information. When was it last sold for? When was it built? The last sale date? How many bathrooms? How many bedrooms? What year it was built? The square footage. I wouldn't trust this completely. I would always recommend to get if you list a house, make sure to just get measurements to make sure that you get every square footage, because this is just based on tax information. So it's not always the most accurate. But like I said, this just helps you give you a general idea of how big the house is. And, if someone's interested, you already know, you can kind of give them an estimate about that. You can find out the information of the person. If it's occupied, if they are currently living there, if they are. If they're not, of course, there'll be a different tax billing address. What's the zoning, where it is, with the plot map. You can find that information here. Subdivision, parcel ID number, the legal description of the house. Tax assessment over the years, and any other characteristics about the house that you probably won't be able to find. It also lets you know what's the sell score indicator, so if they may be interested in selling. So the score kind of tells you if there's a very low chance to very high chance, and of course this one's a low. But like I said, it just lets you know if you were to prospect for geo leads to know what are they more likely or are they not. And of course here, the last, you will find listing information. This property is currently listed right now. Here what kind of deed, the book and page, and of course any other previous people that owned it prior. And you get to find out the lot. You can do comparables to see if anybody else has sold this in the area, to see what's the difference and see how much it's been sold, or when was it last sold. The market trends. This is just basically for your knowledge. Who the neighbors are. I'd like to give this information to, if I were to sell the house, to the buyers, just so they know who their neighbors are. I mean, some people are shy and don't want to talk to their neighbors, so it's always good for them to see compare their property to the rest, and also just know who their neighbors are, you know, if something would ever happen. And of course, you can get the neighborhood profile to let them know all this information. I like to sometimes give this information to people, just so they know, especially when it comes to like schools and stuff. So this tells you the schools and the ratings, and any other like eating or attractions near the area, so they kind of can know what's going on. Like if there's dining, I always put that at, like, you know, give this information. This is mostly information I would give to a buyer. But that's basically how you use Realist if you need to find certain information. Now, if you are prospecting for geoleads, I'll do that in another video, how to use Realist, but just to use Realist just to gain information, that's basically how you do it.